for CAT on a daily basis. Every day it gets a little easier, but you gotta do it every day. That is the hard part. The first idea we'll discuss is figuring out the most effective time for your learning process. I'll start with my own example. I've been told all my life that waking up early and preparing at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. is the best thing that could have ever happened to mankind. They call it in Tamil as something called as Brahma Muhurtam. So they say anything you start off at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. is a fantastic thing. You will rock in it, you will do wonders and all of that. But all that being said and done, I used to wake up every day. My parents used to wake me up every day in my 10th standard, 12th standard board exams and all of that. I used to sit there, I used to kind of doze off all the while. Then when I was in college, I realized early morning is not something that I was comfortable with. Maybe you would also realize that when you try it out for a couple of days. I realized that after some time when I was in college, when my parents said, hey, you study if you want to, you don't if you don't want to. So I started studying. The pressure was on me late in the nights. I usually start at 8, 9, sometimes even at 10 p.m. in the night. I'll prepare, I'll learn until sometimes even to the extent of 5 a.m. and then I'll sleep for an hour or so, and then I'll go back even to write an exam at that point of time. But I realized waking up is a very tough task for me, but staying awake was something that I was much better doing at. So maybe you are either one of these, maybe a late sleeper or an early riser. Figure what works out for you. Figuring that out, you might think that you're putting 3-4 days for waste, but it's definitely not waste, because you figuring that idea out so that you can make use of all the remaining days until CAT effectively. So find out that sweet spot that works for you. What others say doesn't matter. What works for you, where you are most attentive. Even if you're spending half an hour or even if you're spending 45 minutes in learning, but if you're doing effectively, that is the best thing that you can do for your CAT prep. The next idea that we will be discussing is creating habits but not micromanaging. What do we mean by that? Creating a habit is very vital. You think of it as every day you want to prepare, you want to spend at least 3.5 hours in preparation. Right? But you say, I'll figure out some 1.5 hours of time where I will sit at that one point of time and I will prepare diligently on a daily basis. Let's say you start off early and then you come back home late. Every day you got work to do and all of that. You're a working professional, but you know every day you can find some time between 9:30 and 10:30 or 9:30 and 11 for that matter. So you stick to that one timeline. You know you got to prepare for 3 hours, but you know this 1.5 hours is something that you can definitely take value from that specific amount of time. Creating habits is not a very easy thing to do, but if you think about it, you will think about where can I be if I'm passing out of an IIM, IMX, IMY, whatever. Where can I be? What will I be doing? How much will I earn? All of that. People all do that. So if you think about it, you know that is directly proportional to your CAT score, and that is directly dependent on how well you spend time or how hard you struggle now. It is not about struggling, but it is more about diligently sitting in a place, preparing for one specific time so that you create that habit, put yourself into habit so that even if you don't want to, you got to sit there and you got to prepare. I believe me, it works. So you figure out some one point of time in your life so that you say every day, whatever happens, I will sit there, I will solve 15 questions in that point of time. I will learn for 1.5 hours in that point of time. You need to find out some one time that will work for you, considering all the factors that you have, including your school, college, or your work, all of that. But you got to figure that time out so that you can create a habit. Habit creation helps you immensely in the long run. So take value from creating a habit. Why is micromanagement bad? So let's say you have a plan that says Monday you will prepare for percentages, Tuesday you will complete percentages, Wednesday you will learn averages, and Thursday you will finish off averages. So what is not so great about this plan? It is all good. See, what I will suggest is you to have an overall strategy that says in the next 6 days I have to complete 3 topics. That works well, but not go to the extent of drilling it down on an everyday basis and then saying today I will complete this much part of percentages, tomorrow I am completing the entire percentages. I would refrain from doing that. Why is that? Because it is very easy we are all humans, and especially if you are working and juggling and preparing for something like CAT. Some one day it slips off, you start beating yourself up saying, hey, I have not completed this, I have not completed this. So the next day when you are preparing, again it is not at 100% because you are thinking about, hey, I've left out something in the past, or you are trying always to compensate. So don't beat yourself down, be kind to yourself. The idea is have a overall strategy. Have maybe the minimum you can think about is a week level strategy, and not a day level or a hour level strategy. That really does not work. So a week level strategy that says, hey, I need to clock in 6 hours in terms of quants and then 3 or 4 hours in terms of DILR, and I need to get my reading done at least an hour every day. That works well. So make sure you take value from having a week level strategy, and maybe you might be hard on yourself, but don't be. But even if you are on a week level basis, you are not affecting the entire week thing. You are done with the week, and then you go back and then you sit in a place and then you evaluate in terms of, okay, what do I do? Have I completed what I wanted to complete and all of that? Micromanagement is utterly not useful unless you are someone who really loves sticking everything to a table and following it to the dot. If you are not that guy, then micromanaging is definitely not for you. I am definitely not that guy. It has never helped me. I can tell you, having a flexible plan makes life so much more better, even in terms of getting results in terms of CAT prep. What do I do? When do I do? How do I do? So think about this. On an average, on an everyday basis, you spend 2 hours preparing for quantitative aptitude, 1 hour preparing for DILR, and reading for at least an hour. Do you want to know how do you do this in an elaborate way? Check out this link, pause this video, click on this new tab, and make sure you watch that video in detail. It gives you all relevant information required on how do you prepare on a daily basis. We will discuss different scenarios. What if you're a working professional or a student or a repeater for CAT? How does your strategy differ from the others? How do I go about preparing for this exam on a daily basis? If you're a working professional, all you got to do is scramble for time relentlessly. So you need to find that 15 minutes in your lunch break where you can read half or a full of a passage. You got to learn when you're at home. Test yourself while you are traveling. If you got that opportunity, maybe you're traveling in bus or a train, you can do that. If you're driving yourself on a car or a bike, maybe use podcasts to improve your reading comprehension. Find out ways in which you can make the most out of the time you have. You can find and scramble. You can have a job that is super demanding in terms of time, your mental effort, or sometimes even physically making you super tired. But I can tell you, a lot of people have gone through this, or probably even worse than this, but have still cracked this exam out of shape. All you got to do is put your head down, sit in a place, prepare really well, diligently for this exam with the remaining days that you have. If you are looking to manage a big firm, let's say in 5 years' time, how do you manage your time today is a reflection of that capability. What if I'm a student in college? How do I prepare for this exam daily? So students usually have internships, tests, projects, whatnot, even placements and CAT exam together to prepare. But I can tell you, hand on heart, final year of college is the best time that anybody can ever get to prepare for CAT. So if you are there, make the most out of this. I'll also want to give you the importance or the order of preference in which you should think about preparing. First up, high on the priority list is not CAT, but your semester exams. That is the most important thing that you got to do. Second important thing is placements, and the third thing on that list is CAT preparation. Why is that? Let's say you want to really prepare well for CAT, but CAT cannot be an excuse for a bad grade in your college. What happens is that you got to live with your grades from now until the end of your life. So the idea is, maybe your CAT won't go well this year, maybe. What if you want to prepare for CAT next year? Your final year scores will matter. Your college scores, 10th score, 12th scores, all of them will matter. Your 10th and 12th scores, you can't change them now, but your college scores, the last 2 semesters that you have in your hand, you can manage them well, make the best out of them right now. So your exams come on the top, then is your placements, third is your CAT preparation. What if I am repeating this exam? What if I've taken this exam multiple times in the past? How do I prepare for this exam daily? That is a question that we are looking to answer. Know your strengths, even more importantly, know your weaknesses. Fix them aggressively. 4 years ago, even if you wanted to, you could not figure out what exactly went wrong in your CAT. You could not do a post-mortem analysis. But now you have the CAT question paper, you have the correct solutions, you have your own solutions if you're a repeater. So make the most out of them, take value from it. It is the best way you can analyze your CAT, what went wrong, what went right, and fix those gaps aggressively. You know that your learning part is predominantly covered, maybe some gaps here and there, you can fix those gaps. You can always go back to revise. For a detailed video on revision, check this link out, but know how to revise. Revision is even more important for someone who's repeating this exam, because you know you have learned everything pretty much well in the previous run. So learn well, revise even more aggressively, and take value from the previous exam. What mistakes you did, that is the most important takeaway from you from the last year's preparation. Take value from that. Be honest to yourself, be forgiving if you miss a deadline or you skip a deadline. Your intent, persistence and honesty matters in the long run. Also your actions matter. Put your head down, prepare well for this exam. Best wishes for CAT prep. We are adding at least a video every week on CAT prep. So if you like the content that we provide, give us a like on this video. Also make sure you don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned.